Yeah, this is Black Light. And I'm going to take a minute to go back into some of my history here living in Detroit. I know a lot of y'all ain't going to believe what I'm about to say and don't believe it happened this way because y'all haven't never, in y'all city or whatever, I never heard about any brothers actually beating down the cops. You know, uh, but over here in Detroit on the west side, over on Finkel, some of the brothers used to call it the FAs. Some of them used to call it the 5 Mile Boys, Pony Down. But before it was all that, it was just Finkel. The boys on Finkel. It was mostly Caucasians, aka the artificial man living over there. Most of them were of the Jewish religion. Now I know that they're trying to start something. There was a black man, they say, that shot up some rabbis in New York, New York State somewhere, and they calling it terrorism, domestic terrorism. That's what the Jews are calling it. And it was a black man. Uh, there's been a whole bunch of killings jumping off lately, mass murders. Homeland Security's beefing up security over this internet. They got, if you talk a certain way, they want to come after you some kind of way and form because they don't want the truth out, you know. See this book here? The Secret Relationships Between Blacks and Jews. It's a lot of uproar about this book put out by the Nation of Islam. But a white man uh, showed me a book called The Elders of Zion, put out by Henry Ford, who's a white man. And he had a beef with the Jews right here in Detroit, in Highland Park, because Ford wanted to have a skilled trade training program on Woodward in Highland Park at one of his plants, and the Jews didn't want him to have it. They didn't want to educate the black man into skilled trades. So, Henry Ford got some books out where he's not talking so good about the Jews. Now, what you got to remember is this. You can't go over and, it's a bad thing when you go to someone else's house, turn out their house, beat them up, rape their wife and their daughters, and then kick them out your house, out their house, their own house. And then say, God told me to do it. they were savages, and we wanted to civilize them, but they don't want to be nothing but savages. So we're going to put them outside in the backyard somewhere. That's what the European, the artificial, intelligent European Caucasian did to the indigenous people, the original people over here in America. Then they went and took people, kidnapped people, brought them over here and made them work, kept them ignorant for 400 years. You know, you can't. What's Christian about that? Well, I'll tell you why they proclaim themselves to be Christians. I'll tell you right now why they proclaim themselves to be Christians. Because they put a false image of Jesus being God, then the Son of God, then God himself. But he's Caucasian, or what y'all call white. And really, that's some gangster. That's a gangster move, man. That's all gangster. Now, this gangster is controlling damn near half of the planet, almost all the planet. And then he started using technology by using paper money, which has no value at all, as a temptation for people to do bad things, to get this money, turn on each other, do everything, because they be in belief that the money has value. And they forgot that the only thing is valuable on the planet is the mind. The mind is the only thing that is of value. And so now we're in the process of destroying our minds over money, this paper called money. We got brothers turning on each other. So now he's fixing to escalate this onslaught because his time is growing up. His time is going up. Gone is almost used up. Matter of fact, it's been up, but he's been flim-flamming his way but what he did was he done hooked up a device where called YouTube, and where you can go online and get information, same kind of information that the same kind of information and education they got in college. You can go online and get it, and you ain't got to spend a whole lot of money. And so some brothers is using it intelligently to wake their people up And some brothers is using it to keep their people asleep. That's the ins and outs of it right there. We in a war of the minds. And they want to either exterminate us or control us. They want to do both of them, really. They want to exterminate us and control us. Because they need us, some of us, to supply their energy source. They want to get our melanin, which they don't have. They want to get all what they ain't got, we got from us. Mentally and physically. Take it or leave it. So, when I was living on Wilderman Finkel, we knew this because that's the time that Muhammad Ali in the 50s and 60s when he was coming up. Even though a lot of brothers didn't join the Nation of Islam, they listened to him, and we was fighting back. We wasn't fighting each other back at that time. Dope wasn't in the hood. Heroin and cocaine, we couldn't nobody afford to mess with it. So in the next video, I'm gonna give you a little insight on how we used to beat down the police and some of them white gangs. This is Black Light.